All right, Mashpaka. I'm gonna say shalom to the family. Shalom to the family. Aman, aman, aman. Good to be here today. Let me click over real quick. Shalom, I'm a April Showers. How you doing it this evening today? Okay, there we go. Let me put the mother up there. Shalom, I'm a April Showers. How you doing this evening? I've been trying to get this mic to sound good on this thing. Hopefully it sound better. All right, I just want to talk about the current topics that's been going on online. Um, I'll go ahead and drop the invite. Go ahead and drop the invite. Now my speakers ain't working correctly, so I might not hear you probably, but I'm pretty sure can't post message to. They won't let me do it. So let's see. Let's see if they'll let me go ahead and share. But everything hopefully will go through well today. I'm gonna plug my mic and plug it back in. My headphones. Make sure I got them right. So it's been a lot of people saying that Tariq Nasheed is the leader of FBA. They say he's the founder of FBA. Okay. Back then they were saying that the elder that got a revelation that we was Israelites. They probably was saying he's the founder of the Hebrew Israelite cult back then. Mother April Showers, you was alive back then when they was first going back to Israel. Uh, they said they went to Africa first on the west coast, and they said they was looking for the real Jerusalem. So they all went up and searched for Jerusalem because of a revelation that they had. And a lot of people, probably back in them times, if I look at some old newspapers or whatever, they'll be saying that there was a cult organization back then. But before them, it was written down inside of the book called The Light and Truth during the 18 and the 1700s, saying that we are the Hebrew Israelites. In the screen. But they've been saying that we are cult. Everything that we study and finding about our identity, they call you a cult. You know, back then they called our people freedmen in the 1700s. I have records of that. Of my grandmother and grandfather, them was called freedmen. Or let's say my aunties and my uncles, they was called freedmen on the James Kennedy plantation in Tipper. My granddaddy was a freedman in South Carolina. My great grandfather was a freedman, but they say Tariq Nasheed started up an occult called FBA because they don't know what they talking about. And when you bring up this right here, they say that we are causing a divide in people. We didn't cause a divide in people for being who we are. I noticed that in South there's a South America and then there's North America. So in the South America, there are some brothers and sisters that stay down now. When they say that they are South American, who comes out and say that they being divisive because they have history in South America? If there's I read in school that they got rainforests out there, and if they learn how to survive out there in Jamaica in them forests out there, they know more about the terrain. They have a history with the terrain out there. Just because they got the same blood going through their veins, don't mean that we all know how to survive in the terrain in Jamaica. If we don't have any experience or history of knowing how to survive out there, just because we got brothers and sisters that got the same blood running through their vein, E1B1A, what they used to call it. Now they changed that up so many times. Uh, Y chromosome haplotype. Just because our brothers and sisters in Haiti that was divided up, and now they call them uh, they done split the land up, and now the ones on the other side call themselves this, and the ones on the other side call themselves that. But before the split, they was all Negroes. Well, they fought with France. Somebody split a line down the middle, and now they no longer calling themselves Haitians. Now one side calling themselves uh, Hispanic, and the other one calling themselves Haitian. And now Haitian is a derogatory term in the islands. Well, the ones on the other side got an experience that the other ones on the other side did not have. But they can acknowledge that the Haitian has a history and the one on the other side have a history. Ain't that something? Olado Aquino came to this plantation in North America. Then he went up to Spain. Well, then he went up to Europe. Had an experience that the people in North America didn't have because he was in a different plantation. Many others, like that pilot that fought for Europe, had an experience. Many slaves injured. They was taken from North America up to Europe. Have a history in Europe that we do not have in North America. They came from the same blood, but they have different experiences. There's brothers and sisters that's in New York that have a whole different experience than the brothers and sisters down here in the Bible Belt. Just because they have the same blood don't mean that we all don't have a personal testimony that we as a collective in certain areas can identify and tell. And when the person bring out their testimony, it does not mean that it changes their blood. It means that that person has a peculiar testimony that they are the culprits, that they are the ones that should be able to tell their experiences where they at. There's brothers and sisters in LA and in California. They got a testimony in their specific areas. There's brothers and sisters in Texas that have a testimony in their specific area. There's a history of Texas. Just because there's a history of our people in Texas does not mean that they are not our blood kindred. It just means that they have a specific history in Texas. Now, under North America, this North America is ran when the election go through. There's a president over North America. When the election go through, there's a president. There's presidents in the pandemania. There's presidents wherever our people is at. There's presidents in Europe. Just because brothers and sisters live in Russia and have a history that ties them all the way back to slavery in Russia does not mean that the brothers and sisters in Scotland don't have no history. Where they at? Just because they experience history in Russia and brothers and sisters in Scotland have history in Scotland. When you forget your roots, you lose who you are as a person. You lose your connection from who you are. When you forget your history, your testimony, you forget where Yah brought you from. So you don't know how to identify with somebody else when they give their testimony of where Yah brought them from. If I was in the middle of a pool, which I was, and my muscles locked up and I couldn't swim, and I felt like I was about to drown out there in the middle of the pool, that's my testimony. Just because I have a testimony of that does not mean that I'm boasting over somebody else's testimony that maybe theirs wasn't as drastic. Maybe they was just in the backyard in their pool and their mama and daddy was right there to catch them, but their muscles locked up. That don't take away from my testimony. That don't mean that because my testimony was more severe and harsh because there wasn't nobody there to catch me, don't mean that the brother that's giving his testimony should stop his and that I should stop giving my testimony because somebody else got a testimony. Shalom, Ak Master Moshe. Just because you got a testimony don't mean that I ain't got no testimony. And just because you give your testimony don't mean you trying to shine on me. Brother Master Moshe, I'm pretty sure that he got a lot of testimonies. Just because Brother Monster Moshe got testimonies don't mean he trying to shine on nobody. He got a testimony. A testimony is to encourage people. But in these days, testimonies have been looked at as a person trying to flex on somebody. You see, I looked over across the road one day when I was young, real little, and I saw a man had a needle in his arm and died. He got overdosed by crack. Now, if I tell my testimony of what I seen as a little baby, do that mean I'm trying to upshine somebody that said that they saw somebody get ran over and they live? Am I trying to upshine somebody because I'm telling my testimony? We don't know each other testimony until we speak our testimonies. A brother may have did 30 years inside of prison for a crime he didn't commit, and when he get out, he can't tell his testimony because it's people that's finna get offended because he done came through something that they ain't go through with. So they feel like, well, we gonna stop him from talking, we're going to stop his book from going through because his book got some drastic stuff in there because we don't see the value in our own testimony. So we stand in the way of somebody else's testimony. There's brothers and sisters that was accused of crimes that they didn't commit and they trying to get out of the situation that they in, and you got some brothers and sisters that's trying to stand in the way because they feel like, man, that man really going through something, or she really going through something, so let me stand in the way and put some shade, let me put my shadow on them so that people can look at me and let the sun shine on me for a little bit, because they getting a little bit too much shine. People starting to look into their situation too much. I need some shine. Let me throw out my book in front of his book. Let me put my book in front of his. Let me say that he an evil person. Let me try to discredit facts. Let me discredit the Webster dictionary. Let me even go against the Bible, because I want to destroy the testimony of this brother, to make his testimony of none effect, to make his mission, to make his thing that he trying to get done of none effect. See, that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We trying to destroy one another testimony, not realizing that our testimony, when we put it all together, is a collective testimony. But inside of our testimonies, there is specific things that has to be expressed by the person that y'all allowed to go through it. You read inside of First Corinthians, it tell you that the suffering that you go through with is for the edifying and the upbuilding of the people. It's for the upbuilding of the body. You belong to Messiah. Then your testimony is supposed to be a upbuilding for the body. See, Yasharal need to wake up. But there's some of us that they look at them scriptures that Jeremiah with them wrote, and they say, man, I can't compare with that. So let me make up a false doctrine and make it look like that's an occult organization, because they telling people what Daniel said will be hidden until the last day, when the veil will be removed from people's eyes. So they come out with all of their railing accusations, calling somebody a hate group because they read out of the Bible and believe the Bible. Destroy people careers, destroy their lives, destroy their families, destroy their friendships, destroy everything about that person, because a person can't stand for another person to be used by Yahweh. Does that remind you of when Mariam spoke against her brother Masha? Y'all can speak to us too. Y'all can speak through us too. Masha ain't the only one y'all can speak through. See, we need to be careful of trying to discredit other people's testimony, making other people's testimony look like an offense, but making our testimony look like we the only one that went through something in life. Everybody on this earth got a story they could tell. Why would I try to shadow over my brother and my sister's story? A sister might be dealing with something right now, and she need to open her mouth and speak. That don't mean for a brother or a sister to jump in front of her and say, wait a minute, be quiet, woman. Be quiet, man. It's time for you need to sit down. You think you all that. You think your testimony make you all that. All of us need to look at all of one another as all of that, then a bag of chip. Why I got to look at myself as I ain't nothing, and while another brother or another sister is exalted? What make one what make a toe on the left foot better than a toe on the right foot? What make a finger on the right hand better than a finger on the left hand? Well, I'm left-handed, so the left hand is more important than the right hand. And if you ever boxed or you ever played football, if you injure one part of your body, you're not going to play like you're supposed to play up to your full potential. But a lot of us got this thing messed up. A lot of us not now we getting a little hair on our chest, and we starting to smell ourselves a little bit. We got a little hair on our arm, and we think that we done arrived somewhere. Until the fact that even when the elders speak, a lot of us want to sass our elders, call our elders all out their name. What about brother Tariq Nasheed? Who sinned in the scripture and y'all forgave them? We don't know the heart of brother Tariq Nasheed. We don't know the heart. If R. Kelly say he apologized for what he did, but we'll forgive people that did crimes against our people, about that 94 crime bill. But when we look at R. Kelly, we would have throw away the key. What's wrong with us while we can't see that we are treating each other with unfair balances? That we got to destroy our own brother and sister. Make one mistake, slip one good time, and we're gonna throw the book at you. Why do we give each other the death penalty, but beg for mercy when we doing that to when everybody doing it to if your time come around? When your time come around, my grandmama say every dog got his day. Now I'm not calling nobody no dog, but that's what I'm just telling you what the old folk used to say. My grandma and them say every dog got his day. All right, fam, that's what I wanted to talk about today. And I dropped the link, and if anybody would like to say anything, I'm finna let one of my songs play, and I'm finna pause my mic. And if any of y'all would like to come up and give your piece on what you feel about what's going on, feel free to do so. All right, I'm finna pause my mic.
Look all online, you won't find it unless they update it. But they say in 1976, 26 children through the age of 5 and 14 was kidnapped, and that's the biggest one. No more genocide, brother, sister, let us come together like we did in Alabama. Not a looking for no drama, ain't a verse up in the Bible say the sin is self-defense, and even if you push your cat up in the corner, Betty scrap 1 million people just a year that got a shot of euthanasia, plus 1,000 so-called blacks every year they get that TikTok gunshot. Boom, they be holding some not guilty. Everybody in the whole world that seen this today. The words sounded like hallucination, like I never did see what you seen me fake. The people get tired, so the people stand up, don't like to fight, but what else to do? Everywhere you go, people want to bang, trying to jab back, so you bust move. Hard to get respect no matter what we do, but a human being gotta feel it too. School said we ace, but that ain't the truth. We the gullible people that been going through. To be a cell lot, you can't pay me to be a cell lot. You can't pay me to be a cell lot. You ain't got enough. You ain't got enough. You can't pay me to be a cell lot. You can't pay me to be a cell lot.
All right, fam. If that'll be all, I'm finna go ahead and jump off of here. But feel free, y'all. Go on y'all pages. Let's keep this conversation going because we need to bring peace in this situation. It don't make no sense how a lot of this stuff is going right now. And all this need to stop and we need to start um, putting on the full armor of Messiah. Put on the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, have our clothes, go clothes with the garment. We need to put on truth, fam. All this stuff is uncalled for. Online arguing about what FBA said. FBA mean foundational Black America. Just like you got uh, uh, somebody in the Caribbean, FBC, foundational Caribbean. The first ones over there. If we was over there trying to circumvent them, it'd be a FBC, I guess. But anyway, fam, I'm about to get up off of here. I want to say shalom, and I hope that nobody got offended and turn their heart away from the word. But let's look at these things through the lens of understanding, fam. This stuff right here need to be resolved, and we need to stop all this right here. All right, fam. Shalom. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for coming.